Hey guys, this is Spencer here, and as you can see, I changed my camera. So today I wanted to talk about some books here. Comic books, graphic novels, whatever you like to call them. And now these are probably my most favorite graphic novel series I have read, which is Bird and Squirrel. Now, Bird and Squirrel came out in 2012, 6 years after I was born. And it's about these two unlikely friends named Squirrel and Bird. Squirrel is an arrogant, selfish, and fearful guy, while Bird is a happy-go-lucky, carefree, and reckless kind of guy. Now, today I'm going to be ranking all the books. So, I do not hate any of the Bird and Squirrel books. In fact, I love them all. In fact, 3 out of the 4 books have gotten the Spencer Miller seal of approval. Well, the first ever. Okay. So starting off the list is, in my opinion, the weakest Bird and Squirrel book, Bird and Squirrel on the Edge. Just because it's the weakest in the series doesn't mean I hate it. I really love it. It's just that we don't really get a lot of character development in there. But even with that, it was just so good seeing these characters. And I'm really happy that Squirrel changed his way of lifestyle from a selfish guy to a person who cares more than just about himself. But what makes this not work is that Bird is less of himself anymore. Like he doesn't really have that character that made him good in the original. Okay, now after Bird and Squirrel on the Edge comes Bird and Squirrel on Ice. Okay, it was a tough call between Bird and Squirrel on the Edge and Bird and Squirrel on Ice, because not only did I think they were equally as weak, and not only do they share more pros than cons, I was almost going to make it a tie for number 4. Well, there is something that Bird and Squirrel on Ice does have over Bird and Squirrel on the Edge. Characters. Now, basically what makes Bird and Squirrel on Ice not work is the Antarctic kind of thing, and I think that was just too over the top. But what does make this work is because of the great whale, who's possibly my second most favorite villain in the Bird and Squirrel series, and Sakari, the main character, is just absolutely amazing. And if there's one thing that's my favorite part about the book, it is give up? Well, it's this part where Bird's telling all of these stories. I really love that part. Okay, now after Bird and Squirrel on Ice comes Bird and Squirrel on the Run. Even though it's the first book, I really do have to put it at the number 2 spot, because it's just so amazing how these guys just met each other, and I really like how they became friends, and even though it's the second best of the series, it probably has the weakest character design and the scenery. But just because of that, it's still really amazing. Like the characters, the settings, the villains, and most importantly, the story. Okay, now my most favorite Bird and Squirrel book is Bird and Squirrel on Fire. The reason why it made this at the #1 spot is because it's so epic. It's so packed with adventure, and it has a lot of character development. It also has a lot of heart in it. And I just really love how Squirrel gets like a wife and a daughter kind of thing. And it's also good to see Squirrel's character develop. Anyways, Bird and Squirrel on Fire is the #1 best. Okay, now I started reading these books back in 2016, and I've collected them ever since. I just really love the story, the characters, and just everything about Bird and Squirrel amazes me. Anyways, James Burks, if you're watching this, I'm really excited for Bird and Squirrel #5 once you make it. Anyways, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.